See, I let out a little grunt. That's how many Blu-rays there are. But here you go. Look at that. Look at all that goodness. The first movie up is Blitz. See, that was my Jason Statham impression. Doesn't that sound really bad? I actually sound like an Australian man who smokes 3 packs a day. Anyway, Blitz is a Blu-ray released by Millennium Entertainment, and they're putting out movies like Trespass, which is coming out with Nicolas Cage, and that's a movie I need to see. I love my Nicolas Cage. But anyway, back to this movie. So anyway, the movie Blitz stars Jason Statham, and he plays this renegade kind of vigilante cop who goes around and pretty much does whatever it takes to get his man. And he actually, in one scene, he beats a whole bunch of criminals up with this thing. What is that? You guys play cricket with that? I'm not sure what that club is called. Sorry to say, I have no culture, so just stick with me for a second. Blitz was kind of a cool movie, and I always enjoyed movies that take place in other countries like the UK, you know. The dialogue, it's funny to see how, like, they insult each other, because their insults I find humorous. No offense, but, like, in one scene, the guy who's going around killing cops, he's calling to a reporter, and the reporter keeps repeating everything he says. And finally, the guy's like, "Stop repeating everything I say. It's getting on my tits." I'm sorry. How do you take a threat like that seriously? Well, the subtitle says it all, I guess. Cop killer versus killer cop. And the bad guy in this movie, he's hilarious. He's kind of like this Weasley kind of guy. I think Aidan Gillen. Yeah, I guess the name's right there. But anyway, he goes around just killing these cops because he's disgruntled at life. And the funny thing about this guy is he doesn't have a car in the movie. He either runs place to place or he rides a bicycle. I don't know if anyone else picked that up, but that's what I got from him. So anyway, Blitz, I definitely give this a recommendation. Check it out. Next up, in the spirit of Halloween, and I gotta itch my nose. And now I gotta get a drink of my Johnny's Kryptonite. And real quick before we move on, I wanted to give a quick shout out to a buddy of mine here on YouTube. His name is Film Fan Pete, or if you want to call him Pete or Patrick or Peter, I don't know. Anyway, yeah, you don't want to go around in public calling people Film Fan Pete. It probably wouldn't sit well and people would think you lost your sanity. But anyway, he gets all the Blu-rays ahead of time. He gets them before the street date, and it's really cool because you can go there, you check them out, and if you kind of, had questions about, oh, what kind of artwork was this Blu-ray going to have, or whatever, he already has the damn thing, so definitely go check him out. Link to his channel, I'll throw up an annotation right here, or if you guys want to check him out down below. Anyway, let's get into the Halloween part of the show. And by the Halloween part of the show, I mean I have one Blu-ray called Halloween. And I picked this up at the Best Buy trade and save deal. It was $10. I paid $5 for it. You can't beat that. And I've never seen this on Blu-ray. I can't wait. What I'm gonna do, folks, is I'm gonna hold out till it gets a little bit closer to Halloween, and then I'm gonna pop this thing in and then just enjoy. I'm gonna jump in to the Halloween spirit, and I'm going to watch Michael Myers mutilate his family and everyone else around. And I haven't put this in, but I heard that this Blu-ray transfer kind of has it doesn't look bad. The resolution looks great, but what they did is they kind of they messed around with the color tones of it, and it doesn't look very Halloweenish anymore. It doesn't have that orangey kind of fall vibe. It just looks like more of a summertime vibe. Next up is a movie that proves Tom Cruise is a badass. I mean, he's lost his damn mind, don't get me wrong, but he is a badass in this movie because something about the gray hair, I don't know why, it fascinates me and I'm jealous of it. I think one day if my hair's not gray by the time I hit 35, I'm going to dye it. Anyway, Collateral is basically about a psychopath who gets in the backseat of Jamie Foxx's cab, and he basically has like 5 hits to do that night, and he forces Jamie Foxx to drive him around so he can complete these assassinations. And it's really kind of a cool movie. It's a Michael Mann movie, and it was all shot in digital. Well, about 90% of the movie was shot with digital cameras. And it was the first time that they actually embraced the digital technology in filming. Usually, before this, if they used digital, they tried to make it look like it was film. But in here, they just go for it, and they stylize it with the whole digital look. And the whole vibe of this movie, this is my kind of movie, because it has that nighttime vibe, and it's not overly produced. They don't have too much lighting on it. They use like natural lighting from the city, so you have that orange glow. And really, movies like this, and movies kind of like Drive, it makes you feel like you're in the car, you know what I mean? It makes you feel like you're right there in the middle of the city, and the shit's going down and you're stuck in it. Next up, another Best Buy trade and save deal. It was The Usual Suspects, and I had never seen this movie before until about 3 days ago. And I'm going to tell you what, I was actually, Bryan Singer, man, this was what is one of his first directorial debuts, if not his first. It doesn't really matter. Anyway, Usual Suspects, really cool movie. The only thing that kind of turned me off with this movie was Stephen Baldwin. He doesn't seem like a real person, do you know what I mean? And it's not just a bad haircut with his bangs laying over his face. It's something about him just seems very off. And, you know, I think a few other people said it best. Stephen Baldwin is the weakest of the Baldwin brothers, and that's not saying much. But anyway, a really cool movie, kind of has a cool twist. I love the whole gangster, they're not even gangsters, I don't know. They're just all criminals, and I always can root for the bad guy. I like criminals. And my only complaint about this movie is I wish there was a little more, I wish they would have shown a few more heists. You know what I mean? I always like to see the heist. And what else is there? What did I want to say? Kevin Pollak. Yeah, Kevin Pollak. Alrighty, next up, a movie that I almost didn't get on Blu-ray. I sat there, I pondered it, I thought about it, and I questioned my faith. But then I realized that I needed the crisp, I needed the clearness, I needed the juice colors to flow into my eyeballs, and it's The Lion King. And yes, I did just say juice colors because it's a term I heard my father say back in 1994 after we seen this movie, juice colors. That means vivid, by the way. But anyway, I had the DVD release of this, and I'm going to tell you what pushed me over the edge to get this thing. In the DVD release of this movie, they added a song for the little kiddies out there. Why did I do that when I said kiddies? Anyway, it's called The Morning Report, and the little bird, Iago, no, that's I am a jackass. Iago is the parrot from Aladdin. Anyway, the bird in this movie in the beginning sings the song The Morning Report, which was added in just for the DVD, and it just ruins the whole movie. It takes away the epicness, the cool tone that they were going for in the beginning. And thank God they cut that out for the Blu-ray release, which this looks phenomenal on Blu-ray. The colors, the resolution, the sound, the epic, I'm dying. That's not even, did you guys just hear what I just did? That was my impression of the Lion King song. I'm sorry. Just, I might edit that out. Next up, a movie that I'm going to question my humanity, I'll be honest with you. It's called Camp Nowhere, and I remember seeing this in the theaters when I was 8 or 9. It was this or Little Rascals. I remember the day. My friend was like, do you want to see Little Rascals or Camp Nowhere? And I didn't know what the hell he was talking about. Camp Nowhere? What is that? Anyways, glad I made this decision because this is just a really cool movie for, you know, adolescents. So anyway, what all these kids do is they basically come up with this scheme to take all their parents' money and they combine it all, and they end up just getting their own camp, and they get Christopher Lloyd to run it for them. And he's kind of just this washed-up drunk who works in the mall selling cheese. So anyway, this movie definitely has the mid-90s written all over it. And it's really cool because when these kids are just like spending all their parents' cash, they're just buying big screen TVs, guitars, fireworks. And it's just a really cool movie. Definitely check this out. Next up, it's Pulp Fiction. How do you go from Camp Nowhere to Pulp Fiction? Anyway, I haven't even watched this on Blu-ray yet. I mean, of course, I've seen the DVD numerous times. And just really, this is my favorite Tarantino movie. And I'll be honest with you, I think it's easily his best movie. But anyway, just everything's cool about this movie. I like how it follows the storyline of all these different characters and they kind of intertwine a little bit. That scene down in the basement of the pawn shop, and every time I go into a pawn shop looking for movies, it really, I get scared. I clench up a little bit, and I make sure they always have a samurai sword on the wall, just in case I wake up with a gag in my mouth down in the basement. That way, when I beat the gimp up, I walk upstairs and I have to decide between a chainsaw or a samurai sword. So, but anyway, always look for a samurai sword if you go into a pawn shop, just in case. And I heard the picture quality in this looks phenomenal in every way. Can't wait to watch it. Next up, the definition of testosterone. It's 300, starring Gerard Butler. And I remember this movie, I didn't know what to expect when I seen this movie in theaters, but this is just visual eye candy. It's a movie directed by Zack Snyder. Leonidas leads the group of 300 Spartans to defeat the 8.5-foot tall Xerxes, who kind of has a Dennis Rodman thing going on. I don't know what the hell was, like a transgender kind of. But anyway, what can you say about 300 that hasn't already been said? Pure badass. That's the definition. That's all you need to know. And it looks great on Blu-ray. The grain, the picture quality, it's gritty, it's bloody. I mean, just... For tonight, we dine in hell! That's not even a Gerard Butler voice. Next up, a movie I haven't seen since I was probably 5 years old. I remember nothing about this. It's Superman, the movie. Anyway, I haven't put this in yet. It's gonna take me a little while to work up to this. You know what I mean? It's one of those really corny, late 70s, kind of stylistic, what am I even talking about anymore? It's got Gene Hackman with no hair, and Christopher Reeves, and I just need to be in the mood, you know what I mean? I gotta get in that mood to really get into this movie, so I'll save this for a rainy day. I only paid like $4 for this on Blu-ray, so you can't beat that. Alrighty, next up, it's a new release Blu-ray. It's Horrible Bosses. You know, I actually enjoyed this movie. It was funny, it was crude. Jennifer Aniston. Oh, Jennifer Aniston. Anyway, Horrible Bosses. I haven't watched this on Blu-ray yet, but one of these days. Alrighty guys, so that was only half the stack of Blu-rays. This is only going to be part one of a two-part DVD Blu-ray update. And the reason for that is, I want to take a little more time, you know what I mean? I want to sit there and talk more about the other movies I have to show, and I don't want to sit here and make a 30-minute video, you know what I mean? Because you guys have shit to do, I have shit to do. I'm trying to go in a little more depth with each movie, because I'm tired of just holding up movies. Hey, look at what I got, whoa! And, you know, throwing it over there. You know, let's take a little more time and let's discuss movies, you know what I mean? So anyway, I'm going to save the other half of the stack of Blu-rays I got and a few DVDs, and I'm going to make a part 2 out of this. How's that? That way, yeah, we can just take our time, we can relax, we can sit back, but I can't really sit back on this chair because there is no back to it. So anyway, guys, thanks for watching. I'm John with the FlickPig channel, and I'll see you within, I'll see you with part 2 within about 48 hours. How's that? Alright, bye-bye.